There's going to be a lot. There's actually a lot of good stuff that we have on tape. But it was a great environment. You know, it was a playoff environment versus the number one team in the country. And again, that's something that I think is going to serve our team really, really well. Again, got away in the third quarter, but a lot of positives that I think will make us better. And our players won't forget that. So the positives, we were physical. We played really hard. I thought we matched up well, and our guys were in shape. You know, we were a well-conditioned team. Nobody's hurt. So there was a lot of good things. I mean, I think again, we had some fundamental stuff that really cost us and some missed opportunities. And in a game like that, momentum can really turn one way or another. But the good was how hard our guys played, how physical they played, and some things that I think that they will see coming out of it that I think will help them, apply the lessons moving forward. So, as far as just the rest of it for us, man, it's just about, moving forward and turning everything into lessons for this week to make us better and making sure we don't let one game beat us twice. I mean, we got to move on. We can't let it kill our spirit. That's a great football team. Tough opener, and one that we really wanted to win and felt like we could win, but we didn't get it done. And you got to give Georgia a lot of credit for that. So we lost that battle. And, what we got to do is just pick ourselves up and keep moving forward. There's the only thing that we can't do within our goals and our season is we can't go undefeated. So there's still a lot of things out there for our team. I really think we got the right people. And, I think a lot of good days ahead. I know there's a lot of frustration and disappointment, and nobody has that more than us. But I think we got a great season ahead, and looking forward to this week, in the Valley and kicking off a night game here and getting back at it. Injury-wise, again, we came through the game, in a good spot. Tate got banged up, but I think he's going to be okay. So we feel good about that. And then just specifically, offensively, defensively, again, defensively, a really good first half. We were tough. We were physical. They really were not able to run at us all night. They ended up, getting some plays around us, and we did a poor job fundamentally and just leveraging the ball from outside in. We had some missed tackles, some bad eyes, which really cost us on the jet sweep in particular. So those are all things that we'll learn from, but a good adjustment for them. That paid off, but a lot of good things. We created a bunch of third and longs and second and longs. Did not have a lot of penalties, so there was plenty of things that we did good, but plenty of things that they're going to be frustrated at when they see the tape. And then offensively, a good measure for our offensive line to kind of see where we are. And, we had a few little things here or there, but, man, they gave up no sacks. I know there was registered 2 sacks, but the one sack, that's an unblocked guy. The OL had everybody blocked. And Cates just got to throw that ball away right there. And then, Linthicum was very solid. Very pleased with Linthicum. But I thought our guys were physical. They targeted well. And then with all the stuff going on with the cadence and everything, Linthicum, I think did a good job. But ball security, we took care of the ball. And we had the one pick. It was a great play. Last time we played these guys, we couldn't run the ball. Moffa was 3.7. So, I think when we put it all together, this will be a game that's gonna really help us grow and develop our team, throughout the season. But plenty of things to be disappointed. Biggest thing offensively were missed opportunities and the critical penalties. We hit the first big play of the game. We got a chance to get the first points and just had a critical penalty. And then just some missed plays. But we did finish well. We had our first drive in the second half. We went and scored, but unfortunately we gave up the touchdown after really holding them out the whole first half. So just couldn't quite put it all together. And it was also good to get Hoosier his first experience, and good to see him make his first kick. That'll be a good one. But credit to Georgia. Again, they're number one team in the country for a reason, and they played like that in the third and fourth quarter, and again, third quarter in particular, just kind of got away, and momentum got against us, and in a first game, it'll be something that will teach us a lot as we move forward. Anybody got any questions?
Dabo, this is Larry. I'm just curious, after going against Georgia, and you've been very complimentary of their talent, just curious, the gap between Clemson and Georgia talent-wise, just in your mind, just looking back at the game, just your take on that.
That's one of the positives. I thought we matched up well. I mean, we didn't. The scoreboard doesn't indicate that, but we've been a part of games where we've blown somebody out too, and the talent doesn't mean they didn't have the talent. Sometimes it can get away from you, and especially in openers, weird games. But we matched up well. It's one of the positives. We're very physical. Again, there's just some details that really cost us in a game like that. We'll have a big margin for error. I think that's one of the things that our guys will come out of this game. I think they'll, it's good to see that. Again, as I said, going in the game, to get a shot at the number one team in the country, you usually got to be in the playoff, or you got to be in the national championship. And to really get that type of exposure and experience. But this one was just on our schedule. So great opportunity for our guys, and that's what's most disappointing is we missed a great opportunity, didn't take advantage of it. But again, there'll be more opportunity down the road, but it's going to make us better. It's going to help us develop and grow our team, and I'm excited about that. But that's one of the positive things that I saw. I thought we matched up physically. We've just got to do a great job of teaching off this tape and see if we can clean up some of the mistakes and details that can cost you in a game like that.
Hey, Dabo, David Hale with ESPN. There was a couple of 4th and 1s you faced in the first half. I know the field position was not great for you to go for it on either one, but just kind of looking back with hindsight, would you have, if you kind of knew then what you know now, would you have been more aggressive in that situation and rolled the dice?
No, the first one, it was 3-0, I think, at the time, and you're backed up. You feel good about how your defense is playing, and you're trying to. I really thought it was going to be a close game, and it was until about 4 plays in the third quarter that kind of blew it open and changed things. But and then the other one, we would have gone for it, but we had it was almost 2 yards, so we lost there, and so we just we decided to punt.
Another follow up, if you don't mind. We heard a lot about the freshman receivers throughout the offseason. Didn't see as much of them in this game. Was it just a matter of like, hey, the opponent's Georgia, we don't want to throw freshmen into the fire too much, or how did the receiver rotation kind of come to be?
Yeah, didn't get them. I think Wesco played 12 or 14 snaps or so, and we did, TJ got in there some as well, but I think that's the two you're asking about in particular. But we wanted more, and we only had 52 plays, so there wasn't a lot of plays in the game, and that's one of the things about playing Georgia is the time of possession. They didn't have a ton of plays either, so it was just very limited plays and just never really got into the rhythm of things. But definitely those guys, and then part of too, just first game, getting these guys going. But you'll continue to see those guys, stepping up and getting more opportunity. As I've said many times, we kind of got six or seven guys that we kind of view as starters, and now that we've got a game, you evaluate week in and week out who's running out there first, and that's how you create competition and get the best guys going. So that's a week to week thing on how they play, how they practice. Now that we're rolling.
Hey, Dabo, Chapel with the State. Follow up on receivers. I know you've talked about kind of having a touch chart on the sideline for running backs. how do you and the coaching staff kind of monitor targets usage for the wide receivers game to game?
Yeah, same thing. And again, we didn't do a good job of that yesterday. But again, part of it is just some missed opportunities, and all of a sudden you're not in rhythm like we want it to be. Just really a frustrating game. I mean, the first play of the game probably going to go 20 yards, and that was Cade's worst play of the game. Was just a missed opportunity, and some other ones that would have, I think, created a little more rhythm. But that's an area we got to be better for sure. We got to make sure that our playmakers are touching the ball and making sure that we, sometimes you just got to manufacture that and make sure it happens. And we definitely didn't do a good job of that yesterday.
Hey, Coach, it's David Hood. Speaking of Cade, obviously the quarterback draws a lot of fire when the offense just, manages a field goal. But how would you grade his performance? And then, how would you grade the performance of the offensive line?
Yeah, well, I'm pleased with the OL. And again, their first matchup, I think I thought our D line did a great job all fall camp, really preparing them. They caught movement well. They targeted well. Parks in particular, he had one bad play early, and then he really settled in and played well. We had one miscue with one time. We just had a miscommunication, but pleased with Linthicum for his first start against a game like that with the crowd and the cadence and all the things. We did some silent stuff. I mean, he really, did a nice job. I mean, he's got some technical things. They all have some things that technique-wise can improve on. But for a first game, the physicality of the guys, not giving up a sack on the OL, I'm proud of them. So I think it's a game that's going to make them better. They played hard. They tried to play really physical. And so definitely not perfect, but a good start against the best team in the country, which I think will make us better. Good start. And then as far as Cade, his worst play was the first play. I mean, again, that play's going to go about 20 yards and just missed the throw. But other than that, he settled in well. And, there were a couple of plays, and again, sometimes, at quarterback, when you haven't been tackled in a while, there was a couple of plays that I felt like he could have probably managed a little bit better, in particular the one sack. It was a free blitzer. He knows that. So he's just got to throw that ball away right there. And let's make it 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and 22. So, but as far as his decision-making, his poise, his demeanor, he made some really good throws, had a couple balls dropped, and again, some missed opportunities as well. I did not think down on the goal line. I mean, he's really he was a little fast on the run. I mean, that really had a chance to score. He just got to be a little more patient right there and make sure he's inside the kick out block, and he's got a chance maybe to get that in there. But, again, I think that game's going to make him better as well. I think he's going to come away with it with seeing some good stuff and some confidence. And, it's not always what you see sometimes with progress. I know everybody will just point to the scoreboard and this and that, but, it's not always what you see. As coaches, we know that. So a lot of good stuff that we can teach from on this tape and grow our team for a great season. And I really believe we're going to have a great season. And there's some negative things too that we can teach from. So, again, disappointing night, but a great opportunity for us to build and keep moving forward and go have a great year. It will make us better.
Curious, first game with the helmet comes and the nose
I can't hear you. I don't know who's talking, but I can't hear you.
Trevor, you're very garbled.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Just curious, in the first game with the helmet comms, with all the noise, were there times it was particularly helpful, and logistically did it go smoothly?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I mean, we'll continue to get better at it. And, as it'll become old hat. It is different, but we've been practicing with it. So, but that's the first time, obviously, in a true game situation and that type of noise and environment and so forth. So, I think that's something that we'll continue to get better and better at it. But there was no major problems at all.
Yeah, but you were talking about doing a better job of seeing to it that you get your playmakers touches. Is Tyler Brown included in that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's no question about that. So that's one thing that we definitely did not do a good job of as a staff, for sure. And it wasn't because we didn't try. We just, again, sometimes, you just get out of rhythm and some things don't work the way you want. And but we got to be better there.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Sorry, David.
No, after you, Larry. You're the boss here.
You started working between the tackles with Phil in the second half. I didn't know if before halftime if they were doing anything in particular to sort of discourage that.
No, we went into the game initially. We were trying to get out on the edge to set a couple things up, and so then we ended up going at them and started having some success. And I think that was the right adjustment that we made there. And again, one of the more encouraging things that will come out of the game. There was, I think we're going to be a team that's really going to be able to run the ball well, and I think that will play out. Again, you play Georgia. They're a great team and have been for a while, and you're going to get some things exposed. But that's why I like games like this. I mean, I like them a lot better when you win, but I like games like this because you can get some things, good and bad, right out of the gate, and that can really help you grow. And more importantly, when you have a team and you got a bunch of guys that haven't been to the playoff, we talk about that all the time. We haven't been in the past 3 years. It's good for them to see what that looks like, because again, that was a playoff environment against the number one team in the country, and we didn't get it done like we wanted to, but man, there's a lot of positives that can come from that. And if you got the right people, and we do, and then again, just some of the key things that came out of it for me was, we're going to be a physical team, and our guys can run, and we matched up well. We didn't play as smart as I'd like to. We weren't as detailed in certain cases, and we missed some opportunities that you can't miss. Because you've got to find a way. You got to get that momentum on your side, and we didn't do that when we had opportunity. And then give them credit because they made an adjustment because they were having a hard time running at us. And then they got had a couple of nice schemed up jet concepts where they were reading Peter, and we didn't contain it from the outside in. Well, we missed some critical tackles. They made us tackle in space and we missed a couple, and they got a couple big plays, and bam, you're behind the 8 ball against a great football team. So, but again, it'll make us better. I really, really like our team. I love our team, and I think we got a great season ahead. And we just got to pick ourselves up, dust off, and let's get back to work, man. A lot. They don't close the book on chapter 1. There's a whole lot more to be written with this team, and we'll see how it all plays out, but I'm excited about, getting back to work with them tomorrow. These guys will be eager to go to work, and then we're in the Valley. Got an 8 o'clock game at night. Got a really another tough opponent in App. Every single week, man, we're gonna be in a battle, and I think that's gonna really prepare us for a great year.
Dabo, you said after the game, in a game like that, it's ultimately on the head coach. And I'm curious, as you kind of graded yourself on that game, is there anything that you kind of look back and say, "Oh, I wish I'd done this a little differently," or "I wish we had kind of prepared this a little bit different way"?
No, I just give them. I mean, anytime you lose a game like that, I mean, it's always, when you lose, it's on the head coach. Period. That's just the way it is. And I don't care who you're playing. You're playing the number one team in the country, or you're playing somebody that you're favored to beat. I think that's my job as the head coach, and I'm ultimately responsible. And when we win, man, it's our players and it's our staff, and that's just the way it is. I wish we could have, taken advantage of a couple of the opportunities and created the momentum that I think they needed early. I think we had a great camp, great preparation. Our guys have worked hard. Again, I really like where we were from a physical standpoint. Guys were really There was no issues as far as just conditioning. We were healthy going in, we're healthy coming out. So there's a lot of positives, but at the end of the day, my job is to win, and I didn't get it done. So that's my responsibility. And there's definitely some things that we could have done better, and that's my responsibility on both sides of the ball, everything. So that just falls on the head coach. And so I don't care who you're playing, or again, if you're favored to win or favored to lose. My job is to put them in position to win, and we were, we had 2 quarters that it got away from us.
Hey, Dabo, this is Grayson Mann with TigerNet.com. You mentioned Tuesday how important tackling would be for both sides. I just wanted to get a sense of your impression of the defense's performance overall on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought, again, we've got the people to be a really good defense. We created a bunch of 3rd and longs and 2nd longs. We're going to be physical. We had some, just a couple of times where we didn't leverage the ball, and we had bad eyes. The wheel route was just bad eyes. that's an easy play. It wasn't a complicated play. And sometimes you just get a guy that tries to do too much. And, and that's it's the first time they've played live. And next thing you know, but you'll learn from it. And, so I was disappointed in that. And then, we've got to be, I love the fact that I thought, got after them up front. I think we got some guys that showed some stuff. It was exciting to see, man. Peter was his presence was known. I thought TJ did some nice rushes and did some good stuff as well. You got to give their quarterback, he's really good. He got him in and out of some plays, and he's very accurate. And made a couple of scramble plays as well. But I thought they did a lot of good things. Biggest disappointment was a couple of those 3rd and longs that we didn't get off the field, where he was able to make a couple of plays, and then we didn't create any turnovers. So that was a disappointing thing. And then they ran around us. We can't let people run around us, and that's just fundamental. That's just making sure it's angles, it's leveraging the ball, it's block destruction on the perimeter on some of those screens. But again, tough challenge out of the gate, but one that they'll see a lot of good, but they'll see some other things where missed some opportunities. None more than the start of the 3rd quarter. That was the worst part of the game defensively.
Again, I know you're just getting into the weeds on App State, but Saturday, almost 2 years to the day that Chase Bryce and App State went into College Station, beat the Aggies. I'm sure even if you had beaten Georgia, that App State would have taken seriously.
Yeah, everybody knows App State ain't gonna sneak up on anybody. If you let App State sneak up on you, it's because you've been living in a cave. They have a great program. I think they've had 3 ranked wins in the past couple of years or so. So, they won't be intimidated about coming here or anything like that. They'll have our full attention, regardless of what happens in the last game. But that's just the way it's got to always be. Regardless of who you play, you got to flush it, and you got to move on. It's a long season, and you can't let one game again define you or destroy your year. You let it develop you get better, you own it, and you move on. You can't let it kill your spirit. We work too hard. We got 12 Saturdays. I'll be surprised if there is an undefeated team when it's all said and done this year. We took on a great challenge, and we didn't get it done, but it's a long season ahead. And we control our own destiny. That's the one positive with all the changes and things like that. Nobody can vote you out. You get what you earn. And so, for us, it's always been about winning our league. And if we're going to win our league, we're going to get better as a team. And so our goal this week is to find a way to go get better as a team, play our best game to this point, and show improvement, and find a way to beat App State. That's really our goal. And then again, we've got an open date, and we'll get ready for conference play. So that's really what's on our mind. But it's 1000%, not what happened last week or what's coming down the road. It's all about, App State, because this is a really good team. This quarterback's a heck of a player. Defensively, they created a ton of turnovers last year. So we'll be, but hey, it's a night game in the Valley. I think we've got the best atmosphere in college football, and I know our fans are disappointed from what happened Saturday. We all are, but man, we only get 7 of these days, and it's special to be able to get everybody together and play a game in the Valley. So we'll be pumped up to get home, and a lot of these guys playing their first home game. Be excited to get out there and go compete again against a really, really good App team.
It's David again. There were times yesterday when I thought maybe Peter Woods was the best player on the field. What did you see when you turned the film on and rewatched it?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I don't know who asked me the question, about the gap or whatever, but man, we matched up well. It didn't go our way, but we were physical. We could run. We got a good team. We got a bunch of good young talent that I think is really gonna come together. It's gonna be fun to watch. But Peter Woods he's a great football player. I mean, he's disruptive. He played a lot of snaps. He starts on punt team. I mean, he can run all day. And that was, again, one of the things that I really paid attention to is, man, we were very well conditioned. And again, this is a close team, man. I mean, they had great preparation. I was just disappointed in what we did offensively more than anything, because we had some opportunities and just, and again, you got to give Georgia credit for that, but just, some missed few opportunities that could have created some momentum, and that's really what we needed. It just didn't work out that way, but Peter's on his way to having a great year.
Hey, Dabo, Chapel again. On that 40-yard touchdown pass to Humphreys in the third quarter, at least on the replay, Venables kind of put his hand up, confused. Was that a coverage bust on that play? What was kind of the reason that he got open on that underneath route?
Well, if you watch the play, the reason he put his hand up is he got picked by the ref. But that goes back to one of those details. He was 2 yards too deep. So if he's not 2 yards too deep, he wouldn't have got picked. He had the coverage. He saw it, but when he was just a little deep, and so when he went to go take him, he got picked off by the ref. That's why he put his hand up. Like, what the heck? I don't know if he thought it was another player that hit him or what that kind of picked him. But that's what happened on that. But that's how important the little details are. 2 yards, a little too deep.
With the offense and obviously the lack of execution, you've mentioned that. How did you feel about the play calling? Did you feel like that, hey, we tried to put them in a position, it just was the execution? Do you like what you guys tried to do? Not like? How did you feel about that after everything was over?
I really liked the plan that they had. It didn't work out the way we wanted. Again, that first play of the game is probably going to go for about 20 or more yards, and then we come back and we get the penalty, and then the next play we drop the ball. We thought Brenny has the drop, and now it's 3rd and 13. So it was just little things like that, and then you hit the big play. Early on, we tried to get outside and kind of create a few things, and then we found some things downhill, but we just did 52 plays. I mean, again, we when you only have 52 plays, you're not having a lot of sustained drives in rhythm, and so that really I think limited Garrett a little bit, but he definitely wishes there's a few things he'd like to have back, but again, the couple of the penalties were critical. We had a couple of missed plays that we should have made, and but definitely, I think the biggest thing is we've got to make sure that we get a few guys going a little earlier.
Hey, Coach Lawton Swan, kind of piggybacking off that, you talked about Coach Bobo's adjustments at halftime. Was there anything specific, without giving away too much of the future game plan, that maybe you guys did in the second half to be more effective on offense?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We first of all, we cut out some of the penalties that killed some drives, and we created some more success on first down, which was really helpful. And we did. We had a couple long drives, including the first one, and even the last drive was a nice long sustained drive. But we just kind of started going at them a little bit more, and just I thought Cade kind of settled in and just settled into the game a little bit, but not enough. It wasn't enough for what we needed, and but we were definitely better in the second half than the first half, but nowhere near what we needed to be and what we're going to be.